Abuse is one of the greatest things that I think people in relationship. We can even be very guilty when it comes to abuse. I've discovered there are two types of abuse. We have self-abuse and we have abuse from others. Okay? I have discovered that among abuse, these two types of abuse, the strongest is self-abuse. What is self-abuse? Self-abuse is the ability of not placing respect on your values, your priorities, and your needs in life. Self-abuse is also the ability of dating someone who is not in alignment to your purpose and your calling. Dating someone or keeping someone that does not respect and that does not have regard for your feelings and for your emotions. That is self-abuse. Self-abuse is you sacrificing for someone things that this person cannot or will not sacrifice for you. Self-abuse is settling for less and making somebody to feel they are doing you a favor by being in your life, either they are male or female. Self-abuse is you constantly chasing a lady with calls and text messages when she intentionally keep ignoring you. But you think that the more you call and the more you text, she would suddenly have your time. And that also applies to ladies too. Self-abuse is the ability of somebody constantly making excuses without intentionally creating time, attention, and communication with you. Self-abuse is you believing the lies that someone tells you that they are too busy to reach out to you or communicate with you. That is self-abuse. Self-abuse is you being on a chase to win a lady's heart, being on a chase to win a man's heart. That is self-abuse. Self-abuse is you putting the same energy in a relationship that the other person is practically not even putting anything at all. That is self-abuse. Self-abuse is spending the kind of money you have not spent on yourself for a lady. Spending the kind of money you have not spent on yourself for a guy. That is self-abuse. Self-abuse is when a lady you are dating or a man you are dating disrespect your siblings and disrespect your parents, and yet you smile and joke about it. That is self-abuse. It's numerous. Self-abuse is deep. It's deep. Self-abuse is you allowing somebody to impose what you are not comfortable on you, and you accepting it because you think that is sacrifice in relationship. That is self-abuse. And most of the time, every relationship, until you are first abused yourself, other people cannot abuse you. The way you treat yourself will determine how other people will treat you. And hear me, people are treating you the way you allow them to treat you. Let me repeat again. People are treating you the way you allow them to treat you. So if you don't like the way people are treating you, then you have to say no. Of course, you deserve love, you deserve respect, you deserve communication, you deserve acceptance. You shouldn't beg for relationship. You shouldn't beg for attention. You shouldn't beg for any of those things. If it doesn't come freely, let it be. Be comfortable that someone you desire does not desire you. Be comfortable that someone you want to date is not interested in dating you. I mean, you are inferior to them. Life happens. And that's what makes you mature. When you can let go what you desire to have so much, because you know that that person does not have regard for you the way you have regard for them. Self-abuse. And the second one is the abuse people place on you. Of course, from self-abuse, you already know the abuse people can place on you. Okay? Because the way you allow them to treat you and the way you are treating yourself, determine how they'll treat you. Okay? And there's what you call relationship abuse. That is the third one. that is in a relationship that is not sustaining, feeding, or helping you to deploy your purpose and your calling. Keeping a relationship that is stealing your joy away, stealing your peace of mind away. Keeping a relationship that is making you a toxic person. You are disobedient to your parents. Nobody can talk to you. You are rude to your pastor. You are rude to your all because of somebody you are dating. Relationship abuse is being in a relationship that you no longer study your Bible anymore. You no longer pray anymore. Okay, and you skip days of Bible study on church activities for night dates and for picnic, and other stuff that this guy or this lady in quote actually wants to share with you. Relationship abuse is being in a relationship you are not learning anything positive, you are not growing anything, you are not growing in any capacity of yours, you are not cultivating the fruit of the Spirit. In fact, your self-esteem is diminishing, and the most of all, you are afraid, you are scared, you can't speak, you can't express yourself because you are afraid of how this person will behave, you are afraid of how this person will react. You're living your life practically to please this person. You are having this relationship practically to please this person. Is on this person's terms and condition. If it is not okay with him or okay with her, then there's going to be a trouble. That is relationship abuse. Relationship abuse is where you have to bury your dream, bury the things that makes you happy just because you want to keep this person in a relationship with you. That is what relationship abuse is. So, in what way have you been abusing yourself? How can you be in a relationship for a month and you can't hold on to one thing you have achieved? No. You can't even hold on to three things. No, let me stop at one thing. You can't hold on to one thing with your... A lady came to me for counseling and she said that she has been in a relationship with a guy for 5 years. And the guy broke up. I said, okay, good. For these 5 years, what have you benefited from this relationship? And she said, for the very first time, this is the very first time I'm thinking in this direction. Thank you for this question. And she was quiet for 8 minutes. And she couldn't hold on to one thing she benefited from the relationship. Nothing. Nothing she benefited from a relationship that would be useful to her as she's moving on in life. Rather, she said, I lost the godly virtues I had before I started the relationship. I buried my dreams, I buried my goals in the process of this relationship. So to you have been in a relationship for 1 year, we are in a relationship for 2 years, we are in a relationship for 6 months. What have you gained? If this relationship you are in fails today, what are the things you have benefited from this relationship that will be useful to you in future? What are the godly character, the spiritual capacity you have gained, intellectual capacity you have gained, moral values you have cultivated in the process of dating this person that will actually benefit you and will benefit your future? That is just it. So, are you abusing yourself? Are you abusing somebody else? Or you have been having an abusive relationship? And you know what? The greatest form of disrespect is telling people you are too busy to call them, you are too busy to chat with them, you are too busy to communicate with them. Doesn't make any sense. We are all busy. We only create time for those we value. Don't let anybody deceive you. It is what it is. This is the voice of Prince Victor Matthew, and I hope you've gotten value for your time.